Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Last time we left off we had a pretty insane episode. A lot of things happened, and I said we'd unpack a few of those things this time. So there's a lot to talk about, but I have a few main things I wrote down here that seem important. So one thing I noticed was in the cutscene Eunie had a vision, and it looked like kind of like foresight and stuff. Because it was Eunie seeing into the future, possibly, or an alternate version of what was happening, where Eunie saw another one of the Mobius people. And so that was interesting. The other thing is, obviously, we're Ouroboros now, which means we don't have to worry about the flame clock. And everyone else hates us for that, and Van Damme did mention that. Van Damme said, the whole world's gonna be against you now. And we saw there that it seems like some of the, I keep wanting to say Morpheus, but I'm pretty sure it's Mobius. Some of the Mobius people are basically controlling everyone in Colony 9. So that was possibly what was happening to us as well, and why we were being forced to fight that, but we've been kind of freed from that now. So that's a whole thing. Here's where the Ouroboros was. Ouroboros stone, yeah. And that's what kind of awakened us. And the other thing that was mentioned was, we're going to Sword March, the land pierced by a great sword. Which reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Something else someone mentioned was, in the comments on, like, episode 1 or 2, I forgot about the race of people from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, the Machina. And they said that Lanz and, Guamba, it was Guamba, right? Jeez, I'm forgetting your name now. You two do look like Machina, maybe. So you might not be from Indol, you might be Machina instead. And that brings up an interesting question. So, everyone from Keves seems to be people from one of the races in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So one of the races from the Bionis and the Mechanus, and everyone from Agnus seems to... I mean, we haven't had many, examples of it yet. We basically just have Mio. But they all seem to be races that were from Allrest, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that's an interesting distinction as well. And the final thing I wanted to point out is something that will probably take a little bit of explanation for the people that have not played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm kind of just running around grabbing collectibles while I'm doing this. It is neat that all the stuff's still here, like the robot Van Damme was in and everything. So Mio had a core crystal in her chest. And that is interesting, because Nia also, a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, also had a core crystal in her chest, and it looks exactly like the core crystal Nia had. Which is weird, because Nia was something called a flesh eater, which I mentioned at one point there was something called blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which were basically, another type of people. And it was someone that was tied to a weapon, a blade. We have blades in this, but there's not a familiar or a person tied to it. But, so there were those characters in that, and basically you could become something called a flesh eater if you basically combined with a blade, and, your body and how everything worked for you would change in various ways. And from what I saw looking on the wiki, the red tint that Mio also has means that she's potentially a blade eater. That's a wiki thing that I saw, was that the red tint in Nia's, was to show that she was a blade eater. So I'm interested in seeing if that, holds true for Mio as well. Or if she's just, straight up a clone of Nia, possibly, just looks slightly different or something. I'm not sure. There's a lot to unpack here, and hopefully that explanation was enough for people. Basically, flesh eaters are just someone that, so there were, oh my god, it's confusing. So there were flesh eaters, which I think is a blade that combines with a human. Yeah, that's a flesh eater. Okay, yeah, so that's right. Okay. Sorry. complicated, and it might not even really come up in this game, but it's something interesting to note if you have played the other games, or just read about them. So, hopefully it's not too confusing. There's a lot to keep track of here, alright? So there was a level 8 enemy over there. Maybe I should just fight them really quickly. Possibly. Let's go fight this enemy. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack from that cutscene. A lot of stuff that we can maybe find out. So, let's see what you're like. So, Vortex, AoE, area heal on hit. So, yeah, the whole thing with you was that, the more, like, AoE auras you put down, you fill up your talent. That's what fills up your talent gauge. So, I, like, don't even have one of those equipped right now. So, yeah, I need to equip that, I guess. We need to have at least one ability on you that is place an aura, or we're basically never going to be able to get our talent off, right? Daze! There we go. Hit him with overclock, please? No? Okay, well, you do you. Yeah, so see, we filled up our talent art, like, barely, but not really much. We should probably go stand in this with you. Because Lance is getting hurt a lot. So, the heal Lance. That did not hit. And I can group heal you. So yeah, Vortex's AoE area heal on hit. Maybe it did heal, it just didn't heal a lot. You're not gonna get the topple, are you? Lance, please. There you go. And we'll hold that topple for a second. Now inflict the daze. There we go. So we got him. That wasn't too hard. If I want to get my talent art off, though,
when's the battle happening?
I think we are gonna have to swap around your arts. But yeah, I'm sure other people can explain the stuff, some of the things I talked about, especially the core crystal in Mio a little bit better than I can, since I'm not good at explaining myself. I'm very, very bad at articulating my thoughts, but that's basically what I get from it. So let's switch off Vortex and put on Power Ring again.
Power Ring!
Alright, sorry, had a little something come up there. So we put Power Ring on, and I need that specifically so that we can get our talent art off, because we have to be able to put down auras, so yeah, let's keep that. And I think we'll be good to go. It's gonna be interesting playing as Eunie, because we can't really do much attacking or anything, but yeah. Alright, well, how about we go grab... Oh wait, no, I've already collected a bunch of things. We don't need to do that. Let's just advance. I want to actually make some story progress today without having to have a nearly 2-hour video. So we're exactly... Yeah, we're still in Alfedo Valley. We're in the Sepulchral Cliff Path. So... Ah, this is the same place... Is it the same place we were at earlier? It just doesn't have all the people here fighting? Yeah, no, that makes sense, because the robot was back there. So... Didn't explore everything over there. It looks like there may have been some stuff down there. But there's a point of interest over there. There's a... It says it's a camp, but it looks like the heart-to-heart icon. So I'm like, is there a heart-to-heart we can view there? When are we gonna get the heart-to-heart tutorial? Alright. Yeah, let's head... Yeah, this is where I was fighting those weirdo robots that kept wanting to fight me. You see the Wolves are still here. Glow plug. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting name for that. Alright, cool. Strong dandelion. Alright, Eunie. It's gonna be kind of interesting playing as you for a bit. You know, it's nice to be able to control the healing yourself.
Eunie, we've got to move carefully, even with the Agnians gone.
There is still monsters about, is that what you mean? I know.
Yep, that's what we mean. Cool. So, let's just head over here. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting playing as Eunie because I can manage the healing, which will maybe make some things easier. But, let's go ahead and give you that attack up. There you go. Enjoy, Noah. Oh, I should have... Whoops. That thing was toppled. But, it's fine. Let's just whack you then. Myopic screen. Go ahead and drop down this attack up again. Yeah, see, so that fills up our talents.
What were they gonna do? Make me yawn myself to death?
That fills up our talent art much faster, so that may have been why Eunie wasn't able to heal as much as I was hoping before, because we took that off, so it was causing some issues.
Such is the officer's duty.
Hello, Wolf that just fell from a tree? I think. Hi, you weird doofus. So you're one of the casualties from this battle we just had. Can I sneak past you? Thank you. Appreciate that. It does also seem like I made the right call not using the level up experience from camp, because I've already heard people saying that they're like vastly over leveled because they did that. So I'm glad I avoided that. It seems like it's the same as it was in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So if we want to kind of stay on the curve here, we gotta be careful.
Thanks for the support.
Alright, get over here, Noah. Noah, please get in the... Thank you. Appreciate it. Topple. There we go. So let's wait a few seconds to get this right at the end. Boom. You're dazed. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, see, I like that they're forcing me to play as Eunie here, because it kind of makes me understand how you work.
Right. Let's push on.
Which will make me so much more effective at actually realizing what I should be doing with you. Alright, so yeah, the attack thing stays on. I was like, well, if I put another healing art on, that would be good, right? Because then we could heal more, and it in turn took away the aura heal, which is probably the most effective heal you have, especially for keeping lands alive, so... Now when we go back, we can probably fight that unique boss. Possibly. We can maybe give it one more shot. You're lucky. I feel like I want to fight you.
Next week.
Never a dull moment, eh?
Come on. Hit.
Eat it.
There we go.
I'll make this quick.
Smooth as all.
Nope, get off of me. Thank you. Let's go ahead and drop this. And then, screen. There we go. Good stuff. Yeah, see, we're doing a bunch of damage. Yeah, we can maybe fight that unique monster now. Possibly. With me controlling Eunie, I might be able to keep up with the healing a little bit more effectively.
So, when's the battle happening?
So it won't... I imagine it won't let me skip travel right now. Right. I'm imagining that's not an option. Like, just skip traveling? Yeah, no, because we have to meet there for a cutscene. Okay. So yeah, no, we're just huffing it out of here. There's a treasure chest over there. Where exactly is that? Somewhere I haven't been yet. Alright, cool.
Are you alright, Noah?
I'm fine. I'm not sure how to feel, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's, fair. Considering what we just went through, and you're also sharing Mia's memories and everything now. I said Mia. That's just like a combination of the two names of those characters that look very, very similar. Alright, just wanted to grab those. So we can rest here.
I'm just gonna lie here, and you can't stop me.
And we don't need to clean our clothes, I guess. Yeah, I guess there's no real points in camping.
Next on the list is...
I was treating this like, what's it called? Tales of Arise. You always wanted to camp every opportunity you got there, because you could do a bunch of things there, but also there were a bunch of little conversations that happened at camp. So you always want to make sure you did it.
Out of the ground and then dropped something.
Okay, good. I want whatever you're... Gimme.
We'll be out of the valley soon.
I'm not sure how we'll talk our way out of this with the brass.
that's the fun part, Lance. We're not going to talk this out of our way out of this with the brass because they're going to try and kill us, and that's probably what's going to make us reunite with Mio and all of them. Oh god, not these jerks. You know, I don't like you idiots because of what you made me go through in, what was it, episode... Actually, that was the last episode. It's easy to get them mixed up because that episode was gargantuan in length. That episode hasn't actually went up yet, so I haven't been able to see the comments or anything on it.
Riku's so sleepy. Could do with long soak in bath.
Oh, to be a carefree nop-on.
Just hold out a little longer. We'll be back soon. Oh! Look! Friendlies!
Eh.
Hey! It's me! Lance from... Oh! Cut it out! We're your friends here from Colony 9!
They're not listening, Lance!
The spark! Don't they recognize us? Noah, Noah?
We'll just have to fight back.
Fight back! You're crazy!
Just don't kill them.
Oh, is that all?
Easier said than done.
Wine later. It's time!
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like they control them with the irises, possibly? Because we saw Roald's thing lighting up. Iris. So I'm guessing that is what happens here. That's how they're controlled. Yeah, I mean, we are living outside the laws of this world, basically, now, so... It makes sense. The powers that be have deemed that we need to be taken out because we're breaking the rules. So, place another one of these. Oh god, your little help me? Please don't. I was trying to get Lance into this zone too. I could not. Good. Okay, yeah, this power ring needs to stay. It also has an incredibly low cooldown, which is nice. Okay, yeah, you're super dead. Oh god, I hate that.
Crap! What's going on? We're on the same side!
They keep coming, Noah!
And now the whole world will be your enemy. I wonder how your lives will turn out. I'll enjoy watching you.
The world, our enemy.
Huh? What was that?
If we get any closer to Colony 9, we're just going to end up getting surrounded. We've no choice. We're gonna have to head back!
How are they so good at finding us? What's going on here? Tyon!
Oh my... That light... Is that...
What is it?
I'll explain later. Right now we need to focus on getting out of here.
Okay. Well. Looks like we're going to be playing as them now controlling Mio. Sorry, something else came up again. So, there's something I noticed during that cutscene that I didn't notice last time. The character there with the blue hair, I noticed them before and I was like, oh, their hair looks an interesting color. I believe they're a blade, specifically from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which would further push forward the idea that everyone from Agnus are races from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because they have the same hair as a character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's like flames, and specifically blue flames. So, wow. Alright, we're getting more connections to the previous games than I thought we were going to. Reviews were like, oh yeah, you can jump in this one without it, and I think you could. I think you can. You definitely can. I mean, most things, besides like, you know, Kingdom Hearts, I feel like you can jump in. You can still understand this story without noticing these little things. But there are a lot of things here for people that did play the other games, which is interesting to see. So, Mio takes the defender role, and her class is Zephyr. Interesting. So you're a defender. That is interesting, since Twin Rings were a lot of the times a healer class in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I guess the only Twin Rings you really got were Dromark, right? Could you get Twin Rings on the generic blades? I can't remember. Defenders draw an enemy's aggro towards themselves to prevent their allies from being attacked. Use guard and evasion arts to reduce the damage you take. Ah, are you... So, are you an evasion tank? That would be interesting. It would certainly make sense considering how well you are evading, Noah. Defender's role actions. Whenever you draw enemy attention to yourself, your talent icon will flash blue and your talent art gauge will charge up a lot. Okay, so you have an evasion art. Actions which interfere with enemy attacks, like blocking, evading, or interrupting them with reactions, also count as role actions, charging your talent gauge bit by bit. Okay, so you're a tank. That's interesting. I was actually thinking you were the tank, considering in the cutscene you kind of blocked with your... I forget what you called them, Mamon? Your little paper origami things. Very interesting. And it seems like we have some descriptions for the classes of you two as well. So yeah, Senna. Senna is the one I'm talking about. You have like flaming hair, which is very similar to a character named Brigid from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. Seeing a lot of similarities here. Obviously, don't see anything that Taion has in common with anyone from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But maybe I'm just missing something. Alright, so... I wanted to look at system tips, and it would tell me more about their classes, raising allies, attackers, healers. Okay, here we go. Tactician, role healer. Can use arts that inflict sleep and increase evasion. Supports the party by debuffing enemies and mitigating damage with evasion. Okay, so yeah, this really is just the evasion tank squad. And then I need Senna. Class Ogre, role attacker. Powerful solo attacks can nullify an enemy's guard with their stance arts. Pivot to offense only after a defender has the enemy's aggro. Well, that's interesting, so you can swap. And you remind me of a shield hammer from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Alright. Not what I expected the class spread to be. I thought Senna was going to be... Senna or Taion were going to be the defender. Mio was going to be a healer. And then, you know, Senna or Taion would be the attacker. But this makes sense as well. These are interesting things that we've got going on here. So, I suppose we were supposed to go this way. But yeah, a lot of interesting revelations coming out right now. Like I said last time, if you... Melnus Pass, lower. if you are interested in any of the points that I'm making and everything...
There's no going back to Colony Gamma. We need to get some distance or they'll find us.
Roger.
Roger. Did you feel the need to whisper it because they might hear us? What was that?
Did you guys hear something?
No, Mio. Is that just your idol? Might just be your idol. If you are interested in any of the things I'm talking about, there are fantastic synopses for the story of the first 2 games. I'm trying my best to explain them, but there's definitely more going on than I would have imagined currently, as far as connections to the previous games go. Because, you know, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it definitely linked to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, but it wasn't that big a deal. For most of the game, you wouldn't even notice it. It was kind of towards the end that was a deal. So this one's just starting off right at the beginning with all kinds of connections. Oh no. Guess they knew we'd come here. They're the ones that raided the colony. I ain't letting you get away. I like their, like, samurai-looking armor. Both Keves and Agnus have these, like, Sentai-looking helmets. Yours looks more like a, you know, like an actual samurai helmet. The other one looked very Sentai. It's a very cool look. Oh, someone having real bad mood. Why? It's like nobody recognizes us. As of this moment, the point is moot. Clearly we ought to prioritize our physical safety. But... Senna, come on. You don't want to get slaughtered by our allies, do you? I don't get it at all. But we can't go back to Colony Gamma with things like this. Tyon, is there somewhere we can hide out? I suppose where we bade farewell to our new friends might do. Understood. Let's try to slow him down at most. Exactly my thoughts. I'm not sobbing, but yeah. Alright, Senna. So yeah, I didn't realize that last time. I bet people are going to comment a lot on the video being like, oh my god! Accumulating aggro will draw an enemy's attention towards you. Using strong attacks and healing arts will accumulate a lot of aggro, so keep that in mind, yes. If an ally is under attack and at risk of becoming incapacitated, a good tactic is to accumulate aggro toward yourself so they can continue fighting. To show you which of your characters are being attacked by enemies, a red or blue thread will connect the enemy and the character they're attacking, the targeting line. When the character is an attacker or healer, the line is red. Unlike defenders, defense isn't their strong suit, so it's your cue to be careful. A blue line indicates the enemy's target is the defender. Defenders specialize in taking enemy attention in attacks, so they should do just fine in this situation.
Mio, get the enemy's attention with an arm.
Okay, yeah. Butterfly blade, let's go ahead and grab it. There you go. You're mine now. Cool. So, classes from Keves and Agnus recharge their arts gauges in different ways. Kevesi classes' arts gauge fill over time. Agnian classes' arts gauge is filled by auto attacking. Interesting. Noah's team belongs to Keves and Mio's to Agnus. Okay, so ours filled by auto attacking. Weird. And it says Kevesi classes art gauges fill over time. If it does, it's extremely slow. Because I haven't noticed that. I've noticed doing the roll actions and it feels like that, but I have not noticed an overtime effect on those. For Agnian classes, canceling auto attacks into arts will boost the recharge quicker. Use this to your advantage. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so we want to cancel auto attacks, I mean. That makes sense. While we're aggroed. Boom.
Eyes over here.
Yeah, eyes over here, nerd.
Keep us up,
There you go. Yeah. Wow, you are much faster than the other ones, both on like your arts recharge and everything. Jeez. You're really, really fast, Mia. Okay. Well, let's go meet up with everyone else. Like they mentioned, I mean, I thought we were going to be reuniting with them pretty quickly. Makes a whole lot of sense. Cool. So yeah, I gotta keep that in mind, the differences between the two different factions here. What a neat detail that they do things differently. I'm trying to think, since they're clearly from like races from Xenoblade 1 and then races from Xenoblade 2, I wonder if the different ways they work match up with how things work kind of in those games, I'm thinking. That'd be an interesting little detail, right? If they kind of matched up like that.
Mimi, are you gonna be alright? Thanks, I'm okay. Bit weirded out, but fine.
Alright, let's go ahead and send
Sleep
off.
peacefully.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, so... Xenoblade 1, I mean, they didn't really have role actions, but your talent art... I feel your talent art did fill over time. And in talent arts in Xenoblade 2, did they fill from auto attacks? I didn't play Xenoblade 2 a lot, so... Maybe?
Whoa,
Do I want to fight you?
visitor.
What's attacking me? Just you? Okay. As long as it's just you, I'm good. So, oop, lost aggro.
Eyes over here!
Over here, nerd. Boom. Boom.
Hammerhead!
Hazy trick.
Go ahead and cancel into that.
Keep them intact!
Boom.
Eyes over here!
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Back over here, please. Thank you, thank you.
Keep them intact!
Ooh, evasion up in this zone. I need to stay in here.
Hazy trick. This should up the odds a little.
Boom.
This'll keep eyes
Go.
over here! Wow, thanks! Butterfly blade!
Yeah.
Hammerhead! Keep firing on
Okay,
the
yeah,
damage.
your arts
think this
recharge
is
is
the norm.
so fast. Okay, I let Tyon take a bit too much aggro there, but we're fine. So now I want to fight you. Okay, so go ahead and use my evasion
This should
there.
up the odds a little.
That allows me to evade attacks if I do it at the right time there. Ooh, you just knocked them way back. Hello. Oh my god, yeah, our arts recharge so quickly.
Keep piling on the damage!
I'll provide.
And I can evade while doing this. Good stuff. So that's really useful for dodging like big scary attacks that something's about to do.
Butterfly blade!
You make immediately more sense to me than some of the other ones.
See it!
I might end up liking you more than Lance.
Hammerhead!
I really do like evasion tanks. I think it's such a cool idea. Someone that can't really take hits that well, honestly, but they can take a few and most of the time they just dodge. I think that's a really cool idea. Boom. Cancel into that. Oh yeah. Oh my god, our arts recharge so fast.
Did you see me in action, Mimi? Sure,
This
I
feels
did
so
that.
much faster
You
than the
look
other
great.
characters. Like even playing as Noah, Mio just feels so much faster, constantly. Okay, so do I want to switch around your equipment at all? Boost agility by 20%. That's pretty good since that handles our dodge chance. Boost healing. Boost damage dealt when attacking launched enemies. Okay, that's the two different types of combos. So Keves has a combo that's more similar to the combo in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and the Agnians have a combo that's more similar to the driver combo in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because we have launch and we probably have smash too. So their combo probably goes break, topple, launch, which you knock enemies up into the air and then they spin, and then there's a smash where you knock them back down. It does a ton of damage and they like drop items usually. What an interesting way to blend the two games together. We have like two different games like battle systems combining here. What a neat idea. Okay. Alrighty, well we killed that. That is unique. I'm not going to fight that right now.
You think those people got away safely?
Senna, why waste your time worrying about those Kalesi fools? Forget about them.
Alright, so we need to get down there. Alright, we're making good time here. Hopefully we can reunite with them before the end of the video. I do want to make sure I end this one at an hour, or possibly even under an hour, as apology for the long video yesterday. Okay.
What?
You lot.
Much as I love a friendly reunion, what exactly are we doing here?
Yeah, beats me. I'm starting to get antsy here.
What he said.
And how do you suppose we feel?
Tyan, don't be like this. Reel it in a little.
You guys, you want to survive? Live on? Hold the torch?
Good question.
What?
Guys, let's live. Let's survive.
What kind of pep talk is that? Of course we're gonna survive.
Well then, we know where to go. The city.
The sit? What are you even...
In the eyes of the world at large, we're outlaws now. We can't go back to the colony.
The soldiers. Their irises glowed blood red, just like his did.
Right. I remember.
This is just conjecture, but what if those soldiers are perceiving us as enemies?
Because of the red irises.
Correct.
But what's even up with the colony? Did that freak do that? How?
We don't know the method, but it's logical to think he did something.
That's exactly right. That's it. So instead of going off our separate ways, we stand a better chance if we all work together. Right?
I suppose I can't deny that.
If we are going to be running, we might as well have some kind of aim, right? People on opposite sides, working together. Do you see?
You're saying we can survive that way?
Dude, what are we doing about the homecoming?
Lance, are you being serious? Come on, you have to understand. If you still want to go after all this, I won't stop you. But before you do, you'll have to kill our friends here. Is that even how our lives are supposed to go?
Remember that ceremony? Long ago?
But after our homecoming, what's left?
Well, think of the praise they got, up there. Up on that shining platform.
To me, it was like a pillar of husks. Terrible altar, built upon countless lives. You want that as your legacy? You're really okay with that?
Well, what do you want me to do?
I can't answer that for you. I don't know everything. But we need answers. I say we go out and find them. I want to know, why were we entrusted with these powers? What did he mean by the real enemy?
So, the city.
Yeah,
What did he say? A land pierced by a great sword? Oh, right. That sword. You know, that massive one, way down south.
Yeah.
Defeat the real enemy and restore the world to order. Well then, I guess you can count me in.
Mio?
I think I'd like to trust that man. Besides, how can we even fight anymore after all we've been through?
They're the enemy.
They were the enemy. Okay, I'm with Mimi on this one.
It may be to our advantage. I'll admit that, at least.
Oi, what's that look for? Don't just stare at me. It's creepy.
We're gonna need an answer soon.
Do I even have a choice?
Guess there's nothing for it.
Good. My name's Noah. Colony 9, Special Forces Unit. As you know, I'm an officer. These three, Lance, Eunie, and Riku, are my long-term friends. Oh, and this is my passion. Someday I'd like to play my own melodies. Not just the same old music that I learned in training. Okay.
What is this? Feels like a surprise inspection or something.
It'll help in the long run.
Come on, man. Really?
I'm called Mio. I'm an officer in Colony Gamma's musical unit. I can do the 100 metri in 7 seconds. Pretty quick on my toes, I guess.
You go, girl.
And I keep a diary. I like writing down what happens. I never miss a single day.
Eunie's the name. Special Forces Unit, Colony 9. We act as Noah's escort. Me and the boys, inseparable since we left the pod. My special move's Group Heal. It's great at healing my allies all at once. My hobby? Collecting fortune clovers, I guess. And I'm Senna. I've been Mio's roomie, ever since I was posted to Colony Gamma. My special move? I'm just crazy strong, I guess. I don't look it, but I can lift far more than my own weight. My hobby is lifting. Oh, there you go, Lance. Got a muscle buddy.
Well, I'm Tyon. I'm part of operations and planning in Colony Gamma's survey branch. For this mission, I was assigned as support for the Offseer.
And go on. Your special move?
I don't have a special move. What's the point? Why share details like that? I don't have hobbies.
Wow, Colony dull.
Riku. In Colony 9, Riku was head of maintenance and crafting. And these are attendants of Riku. They at your disposal.
What's this attendance crap?
I'm Manana. Manana was cookie pond in Colony of Mio and others. Manana master of food, stews, baked goods, fry-ups. Can even cook up a mean Gonzalez eyeball.
Eyeball? I didn't realize both Agnus and Keves assigned Nop onto their off-seer squads. Weird coincidence, huh?
Yeah, wouldn't have expected similarities there.
Come on.
My name's Lance. I'm from the same colony as Noah. I work as the unit's defense. My special move? You figure it out. Ugh. Do we have to do this rubbish?
Just bear with us. We can plan, now that you've joined.
So you're acting like we're a team already? Ugh. Spark's alive. Fine then, I'm with you.
You totally sure?
What else do I do? Not like we've got much choice. So, what's our angle?
We have made some distance, but we're still in the colony's search zone. Luckily, we don't have any colonies south of here. And you?
We shouldn't have any colonies mobilized either.
So we go south then?
Yeah. What are you doing there?
Well, our clothes are pretty filthy. Just wondered if there was anything to change into. Oh. Fashion and utility.
I need a change of clothes too. 'Cause these are, yeah.
Don't stop at clothes. Have a look around. Take anything that could come in useful.
All right, the gang's all here.
Is there anything we could use?
Very, very interesting. Okay, so yeah, there's a few things I noticed there. One, they made a reference to, I think a unique monster from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 called Immovable Gonzalez. Talking about a Gonzalez eyeball. It was just basically a giant monkey. And let's see here. What else did I notice there? So, I'm imagining we get the Nopon on our team at some point. I'm also imagining the Nopon also, you know, are Ouroboros like us. That's why they're still hanging out with us.
This.
Oh yeah, we have idle animations. Okay, and they talk during them. So yeah, you're fixing your hair bow. Cool. All right, so what else did I notice? I mean, there's a few interesting things here. I am going to be interested in seeing what my team composition is going to look like, because I find after playing with them a little bit, I really like how the Agnians work, at least Mio. So I might prefer Mio over Lanz as a tank. Obviously, you'd switch that around for some circumstances, but it makes sense because I preferred the agility tank in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 over the tank that's more like Lanz in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 as well, because there's usually the games have an agility tank that focuses on dodging, and a tank that just gets smacked around and just takes the hits. I mean, I guess in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 there were 3, but yeah, you're more similar to Rhine, and you're more similar to the other character whose name I won't say. So, hello. What's in store for us, do you think? Actually, scratch that. You're probably as in the dark as any of us, Noah. Yeah, well, this is interesting. This is definitely interesting, and yeah, I'm noticing things about this squad. Like, you definitely look like Brigid. So I'm assuming Blades at some point stopped being familiars that constantly had a cycle of dying, losing their memories, and then coming back to life, and eventually just like became their own race of people, I guess. I'm assuming. Cool. Tyon's all the way over here. And Manana. And yeah, the reason I say that I'm imagining the Nopon are going to join us at some point, you have a big crazy shield. And, Riku has like a crazy sword. So, clearly, you're going to be fighting with us at some point, and Nopon have been on the team before. Every game, actually. Could never seen that events would take this particular turn. Definitely couldn't have. Manana looking for foodstuffs. Alright. Let's see, we're about to hit an hour, and I don't want to get into another cutscene, so I think we will go ahead and end this off here, and then I'll talk to the rest of the people next time. But yeah, okay, it seems like we're starting to get into the game proper now. This could be our full squad for the rest of the game. I mean, this is 8 characters, right? That's a lot of characters. So far, we've only had a max of 4 in combat, but I think I saw in the trailers for this game you can have like 6 people in combat, which is just nuts, but we'll see where that goes. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I'll see you next time for some more.